Hey everybody, let's take a look at my collection of Seikos. Previous videos generally highlight just a single watch or a couple in a shootout, but I thought let's start to dig into the real collection. This is the closest thing I've done yet to a state of the collection sort of video. I happen to be a big fan of Japanese watches, and I really like Seiko. How could you not? And these are the Seikos I have right now, for the most part. I've had others in the past, and if you look at my channel, there's some previous videos of some other Seikos. But if you don't see it here, it's just not available anymore. I've sold it, or it's in the process of going away. One other watch in the list right here is this guy. What I'm wearing. This is the SRPE 61, SRPE 61. I love this watch. It's on an aftermarket Long Island watch bracelet, and I love that. It came on a NATO, which is not bad, but I'm a bracelet person, and I love this watch a lot. Probably of all the watches here, this watch maybe gets among the most wear. But so this is probably not the largest collection of Seikos out there. There's some Seiko lovers that have 50 of them, but I think the average person has 0 of them, right? So this is larger than average. One thing that might stand out is that they're all quartz, other than the one I just showed you that I'm wearing. And that's because I like quartz watches. That's just how it is. I know a lot of collectors tend to look down on them, but I think if you're someone my age who remembers quite well when quartz was the luxury product, that was the new thing, that was the thing that everyone was moving towards. It's hard to recondition your mind from that. I appreciate a good mechanical watch. I think this is not only beautiful, but a really good value. And I do love wearing it. But I tend to be a lot more selective with my mechanical watches. They have to be a specific purpose. I'd rather have fewer of them that I really, really like. But yeah, it is kind of a pain to every single day grab a different watch and have to set it. But with these guys, I don't have to do that. So I do like my quartz watches, and I love them when they're solar. I feel like you have a relationship with them, right? You're wearing them in the sun. So we're 2 minutes in. Normally I spend 10 minutes on just one watch. Maybe I should try to plow through this. The first watch here, I don't know if you saw a previous video of mine where I have a little shootout. I think that was the last video, between 3 different field watches. This is a Seiko field watch, not too well known. I'm trying to find more like smaller volume Seikos, slightly rarer ones. This guy is part of the SUS reissue. So SUS is like Style Union, not like I don't know. I don't know what it means. But there was a line of watches kind of like below the Seiko 5 line in the 90s, and they were mechanical, hand wound. Very like my first watch kind of thing. A lot of different watches. They've reissued them over the years as quartz watches. There was one that was like the Steve Jobs. This is not the Steve Jobs. This one came out, I think, 2020. And they came out in like 8 different colors. This is the one that I love because it's a full lume dial. So I'm putting my UV light on it, and you just see that absolutely glows because that's LumiBrite, and Seiko has fantastic lume, a full lume LumiBrite field watch, and it's tiny. It's my smallest watch. Let's see, at 35.5 millimeters. Yeah, that's tiny. I have 7.5-inch wrists, but when you want to actually go hiking and you want to wear something that gets out of the way, this is perfect. Now, I'm not a big fan of silicone straps, so I put this on a genuine Hewlett Perlon. And unfortunately, if I want to get through all of these in a timely manner, I'm not going to be able to put them on my wrist. So there you have a good size comparison. Really, really awesome watch. Available in lots of different colors. It has this, it's not blasted. I can't even describe it. It looks like, I don't know, corrugated metal, like it's pressed. It's just a really interesting texture. The original had that too. So I think I want to, that's probably the only one of this style, but that other Steve Jobs watch, I'm probably looking to get one of those. I'm not too sure. It's not solar, but it can't be because it's a full lume dial. Like a solar watch needs a translucent dial, right? For light to get through to that solar element. That's not possible with a full lume dial. So I give it an exception there. The next watch, everyone has this. We all know that TGV started this thing. It's a great watch. This is also not solar. It's the other non-solar quartz watch here. But I think it's just a beautiful size. The way the friction bezel feels, I thought I'd hate that, not being a clicky bezel, but it has just the right amount of resistance, and it does feel great. Now, I don't know if you could see it, but you have this really nice slight distortion there. It's just really fun to wear. Chronograph, of course. Pretty sure it has lap mode, so I could pause it and then it like speeds up to the next thing. That really doesn't get a lot of attention out there, but that's a cool feature. Not every chronograph has that. I'll light up the lume. Yeah, I can't make my room dark to do a lume shot. I really don't want to edit videos, so there you go. There's your lume. Even your seconds hand is a little loomed up there. You see what glows really bright is what's going to glow in the dark. And it's a good size. Let's see. And we are 41 mil. Yeah. Now, this comes on a bracelet, and I actually really like that bracelet. I put it on this. This looks great, but that bracelet's not so bad either. All right. This video is going to be a little longer than average. That's fine. It's a kind of a state of the collection video. This next guy here was the first chrono diver I ever got. So for me, I'm pretty selective on chronographs. It has to be special in one way or another. I think most chrono divers tend to be a little busy because they don't know what they are. Are they a chronograph? Are they a diver? But I really like the coloring to this. I liked see, we'll get some light. You see those lines on the dial. That's supposed to look like a blue whale's kind of lines on its, I don't know, just look up a picture of a blue whale, and that's what it looks like. But as much as I like that, I do think it is kind of busy. I'd prefer this in a non-chrono version, but I just really liked that coloring. And I was hoping I could find a bracelet for this. There's like 5 different colors of this in a chronograph, and there's another 5 non-chrono, maybe even more. So there's plenty of bracelets, but none of them are factory black IP like this, which is a big bummer because I definitely prefer bracelets, and this is silicone strap. Now, part of what I want to get out of this is just showcase all of this and maybe open up, sorry, my camera shakes there, open up the possibility that I clear out some of these and maybe consolidate into some higher end pieces. Clearly, I like tunas. These are Arnie tunas, and not everyone considers them tunas, but plenty of people do. This is a digi tuna. These are solar tunas, and that's a lot of money on the table. I could have one of the actual titanium 1,000-meter tunas. Well, I could get a good chunk of the way towards that with these watches, but I do like variety, so I'm not sure. But I think I'm probably going to be saying goodbye to some of these watches, probably this one, because I couldn't find the bracelet I wanted, and maybe jumping ahead. Right, this is the SSC 701, by the way. You can tell I'm an expert on making videos. I'm so organized with how I'm doing this, just jumping back and forth. But I like the dial in this so much that I actually went ahead and I bought this guy. This is part of the same line, Save the Ocean, but this one you really get to enjoy the dial. And this is modded. It came on a silicone strap, but I have it on a Steward watch strap. These guys make good stuff. Double thickness, like double layers here, but it doesn't add thickness to the case. It doesn't force it off your wrist. This is a mod. This is an aftermarket black kind of brushed bezel. I think it looks really killer. I absolutely love this watch. And so this is sort of the replacement to that guy, but in a form factor that I think fits a lot nicer. And that glows. And you even have the first 15 minutes glowing here. Really cool. That's what it looks like on a wrist. A great size. These tunas, even though they're big, they do wear small, and I do love them for that. So, all right, let's go back to the Arnie reissues. This is the SNJ 028, and this is the SNJ 025. They're both on aftermarket straps. These are Uncle Seiko straps. I forget the name. It's like the G321 or something, named after, I think this strap is modeled after a strap that was actually on the original Arnie. This is the black one. This is the OD, what is that? Olive drab, right? The Army colors. This is sort of a limited edition. It has the rose gold bezel, and I really love that. The hardware I got from Uncle Seiko to match. I've been looking to get an aftermarket shroud for this one, but it's hard to find one in a color pattern that matches. Really, really cool watch. You know, I'm just giving a highlight of things, but I think it's pretty killer. One thing that doesn't get talked about is that these Arnies, they have a perpetual calendar in them, right? They're anodigi with this nice little light. Really cool, multiple modes, but whenever you have something like that, it has complete independent motorized control over those hands. So you set the time digitally, and once you push in the crown, the hands move. Maybe I should give it its own video, but they're really, really cool watches. They're big, but they're like okay that they're big. Like certain watches you put on, you're like, man, this is too big. I can't walk around with this. But these guys, I really like this one. This one does have not just a strap, but a shroud, and it's slightly different. That one's black, and this is kind of, you can tell they're slightly different colors. Let me just take that off. Yeah. Really cool watch here. Like, if I feel like I want to pretend to be a badass for a day, I'll put one of these on. And yeah, I do want to get a Marine Master tuna, but those aren't solar. These guys are all solar. They're not super high value if they get stolen or lost, you know. So that's always sort of decision making you have to make as a watch collector. Do I want variety, or do I want to consolidate down? I've done a lot of consolidation, but I think there's a lot more to do. This guy here, I think is really cool. Now, a lot of people do not think this is cool at all because it's digital. Digital is uncool for some people. But I grew up with digital watches. And one thing I really like about this is it's not just a tuna, but it's a digital dive watch. I can't think of any other watch that has a dive bezel around a digital watch. And the seconds hand, I don't know if you can see, is it in like a different mode? It's not like it's just there. What have I done? Have I done something? Am I in the wrong mode? Like, you can see like the seconds here, but I thought it counted all around. Chrono mode, recall, timer, does all the stuff, solar light, time. Nope, time has paused on this watch. Oh, yeah, it's not seconds. That's why. It's minutes, because how would this thing work otherwise? But yeah, you get to have the benefit of a dive bezel and a digital. I just thought that was cool. And this is also a limited edition. It's like the gold accents. This strap, I replaced the silicone strap that it came with because I do not like them. And this is another Uncle Seiko waffle strap. Now, it's not a screwback. At full price, probably not a great value, but I didn't pay full price for any of these because you should never pay full price for anything that you ever buy. So, speeding ahead, I absolutely love this. You've already seen this one. There's a whole bunch of these solar tunas. Some of them, actually, I think almost all of them are good. But I wanted to get watches that were unique. So some of these watches, they emulate other well-known tunas, like the golden tuna, or like the standard one. But these are unique. They have an interesting texture on the dial. You have these waves on this patty version. This is an aftermarket shroud. And this bracelet is the bracelet that's used on a different one, like a standard black and white one. And I think it fits great. And maybe I will put that on. Sorry, I keep on bumping into my camera. I'm all over the place. But that just looks cool. Now, I'm not the first person to do this. This is a popular thing to add these metal shrouds on. And for good reason. I think they just look killer. You know, the fact that I think MSRP on this is $400 or $500. I think I picked this up for $160, and I got this bezel on a good clearance price. And so, you know, this is like $250 of watch, and it's just awesome. It's just a lot of fun, and it just works. I would get the Patty version of this, but there's actually a lot of text on that version, and I have a Patty right here. And you already saw this one. And we're 15 minutes in, and we're almost done. We'll end with this guy because this is probably the watch that I wear maybe the most or the second most, other than the mechanical watch. I think this watch is just awesome. It's a step in the right direction for Seiko. It's 38 millimeters. Let's see some of that lume. Yeah, it's a beautiful size. Like in pictures, the lugs look long, but you got to remember that proportions work differently at different sizes. So if this were a 40 or 42 mil watch with lugs that long proportionally, they'd be too long. But on this watch, on a 38 mil watch, I just think that looks awesome. And again, I like the more interesting ones. So I like the baby blue colors. I like the earth that's like the Patty logo. And that just makes this special. Now, there's a black version of this. There's a version with a brown bezel. There's an all green version. They all look fantastic. I love them all, but I love bracelets, and I had to get one with a bracelet, and I wanted to get one with a little color. That's what life's about, having a nice selection. So, and I have a handful of watches that are not Seikos. So I usually almost every day or a couple times a week pick one of these, wear it for a couple of days, especially the automatic. I hate setting them, so if I pick this up, I wind up wearing it for a full week to just keep its time. But yeah, I think that's that. I know I skipped a lot of the lume and the measurements, but we're already 17 minutes in. You could look all that stuff up. I did want to point out one thing. Yeah, I skipped this. On this Digituna, firstly, there is lume, and it's in that pip, and that's it. There's no other lume anywhere. There's just lume in the pip because it's probably a reused part. But the coolest thing about it is it has an electroluminescent backlight, and there's no button to press to turn it on. You give it a knock, and it lights up. Maybe I can make it a little darker in here. Hey, you see that? There we go. I think you saw it there. So it's knock sensitive. I mean, you should knock the shroud and not the crystal. But I don't know, that kind of threw me. It's urban, it's a streetwear kind of thing. So when that fits what I'm wearing. When I want to pretend like I'm in the military, I wear this. When it's a patriotic day, I wear this. When I'm going to Tiffany's jeweler, I wear this. When I'm actually hiking, I wear this guy right here. But, and this guy, I think I've worn. This one's probably going, I don't know. This one's not a mecha quartz. It's not solar. I have to figure that out. But we've run long enough. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any opinions on having lots of cheaper watches versus fewer excellent watches, let me know. But I did want to finish off with one thing, is that I do have one other Seiko. As part of that consolidation I've been talking about, got rid of a whole bunch of watches to buy this guy right here, and I am super stoked about it. But I'm not going to show you what it is. I will say it is one of those selective, well thought out mechanical watch purchases that I mentioned. And I do think it is among the most beautiful watches that I've ever seen. And that'll have to be in the next video. And I hate to bribe you this way, but you do have to subscribe. Remember, I'm just a guy showing off watches because I love them. I don't get any money. And you are going to want to see that because it's such a great, well, and you've probably seen it already too. Anyways, thank you very much. 20 minutes. If you stuck around, something's not quite right, but I do appreciate it. And that's that. Stay tuned for a video on one of the most beautiful Seikos ever made. All right, thank you so much.